boat in Jordan, and that the boat people the guy on the boat robbed us with a gun and then made us get off the boat. And so anyway, we
it's never
lied.
Wise to take a lie. That's never wise.
And anyway,
how old were you at that time?
How old?
Yeah.
I was 23 and Danny was 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were scared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how they caught us was they asked my dad how many people were in the boat, and my dad said one person, and then they took Danny and questioned him, and Danny said there was 2 persons on the boat. And when I went there, I said there was 3 persons on the boat, because our story, we didn't get it all together good enough, you know. And so anyway, they knew we were lying. And after they figured out we were lying, we pretty much basically had to tell them the truth of why we came and everything. So then they thought we were spies. And when we first sort of got there, they sent us in a room, and they said walk towards that wall. And the wall had a bunch of bullet holes in it. So we were very, very scared.
It was blood also, wasn't it?
Blood and bullet holes. So we were very, very scared. We thought we were about to be shot. And they yelled at us in Hebrew, stop. And Dad said, keep walking. Don't do nothing, you know, just keep walking. And so we didn't turn around, and they didn't shoot us.
If we had stopped, they would have shot us, I believe, because they would have thought that if we had to understand Hebrew, then they would have thought that we were really spies. So Dad saved us there.
Yeah.
Even though he got us there in the first place, he saved us after he got us there.
Yeah. And anyway, the next 75 days was just a bunch of interrogations. Over and over again, they kept asking us the same questions to see, because when you lie, the story always changes. You can't ever remember the last lie you told. So, but our story kept matching for 75 days. And we finally, we asked them to let us see an American embassy, somebody from the American embassy. They said, no, there's no embassy. We're not going to let you talk to anybody. And we kept asking, well, when can we go home? You know? And they would always say,
Inshallah.
Something like Bukhara, Inshallah. Or, and that means, I guess, tomorrow if it's God's will. I believe. And,
yeah, that's right. And they said it a lot of times. Yeah. They kept saying it.
We talked about trying to escape and many times, and we prayed, you know, constantly for God to let us get out of there. And finally,
you made a decision to run away, didn't you?
Yeah, we wanted to run, but
I didn't want to.
You didn't want to.
My dad kept telling me, well, just wait, you know, 7 more days, 1 more week, and if they don't let us out, then we'll go. And then that week we'd get up and, okay, let's go.
There wasn't anywhere to go, but we were sitting there. But yeah. You know, it was a big area. The only way we could have gone would be at the Red Sea, and there was so much land between us and the sea, we never would have made it.
This was in the city Hakkol, wasn't it?
Yeah,
in Hagul, yes.
Hakkol, yeah.
And anyway, it was stupid of me to want to try to escape, because we probably would have been shot also trying to escape. Yes. Finally, they said, okay, you're going home now. And
we were really relieved.
Yes.
Really?
Very, very relieved.
We didn't know whether or not to believe them or not until they actually got us in the car. And took us back over to Jordan. And we said, all right, we're back
here. They
here.
took us to the Jordanian border. And at the Jordanian border, we were met by the Jordanian military, and they drove us straight to another jail. And so we were like, oh no.
That was very disappointing. Yeah.
And when we were coming into the jail, we heard a man screaming. And just, you know, in pain. And they walked us around the corner to go into the jail, and there was a man having his beard and mustache ripped out by their hands. 2 guards were ripping his, and our beards were long. My dad had to lift his mustache to eat because he would bite his mustache.
Yeah, mine was long too. Ronnie was lucky; he didn't have much of one, but.
And anyway, we thought, oh boy, we're in trouble now. But mainly, they just asked us, why did you go to Saudi from our border? You know, because we disappeared from their country and nobody knew where we were at. And plus, we left the rental car on the side of the road.
They found the car.
They found the car, and so they didn't know what happened to us, you know, until they let us go at the border. And so they then informed us that we had to pay for the car for that 75 days for the rental car. Luckily, in Saudi Arabia, they pay you so much money a day while you're in jail, and you buy your food out of the money they give you. And so we had saved up money actually while we were in there, and so we had enough to pay them, and we still had our plane tickets and stuff because they had took them from us, and passports and everything. And so they basically kept us for 3 days there, and then they let us go home, and they told us never to return to Jordan again.
And you haven't been back here since that time?
No.
At all?
This is my first trip since I was in jail in Saudi Arabia. I thought
my
that
dad
was
later,
good enough for me.
Yeah.
No more traveling.
Yeah, that's true. My dad later got to go, and they took him out to Mt.Sinai and let him see it. And they even got pictures and everything, but then they took the pictures from my father and wouldn't let him keep them. And they said that they were scared that Israel would come and take that part of the country because it was their history, their heritage, the mountain of the laws. And they don't want biblical archaeology over there, you know, really, because it's against their religion altogether.
But now they have a fence around.
They
put up a fence with archaeology sign.
Yep. And there's an altar that had a cow, like I forget which god that is, that they worship, the golden calf and all. And there's also the rock that was split.
Yeah.
And the top of the mountain is black from the presence of God descending on it. And so just by us going to jail, God made people interested in the site. And they thought, well, this must be it, you know. And now everyone is certain that Mount Sinai is in Saudi Arabia, and it is called Jabal El Laws.
Yeah. Well, that's quite a story. You went through there.
Yeah. What's good is that God worked out. He had it planned.
Yes.
And he put the idea in my dad's head to go without permission to begin with, and gave us the courage to do it.
Yeah. I guess it was tough, but anyway, now we know.
You remember when we were praying that morning? We felt something.
Yeah.
All three of us.
We all prayed, and then we decided to go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When we woke up at 3 in the morning, Dad said, well, let's pray, you know, and Dad said, you know, I think we should go. So we did. Now, this is my brother's first trip back, and since
this has
then,
been a good trip.
And I guess it was, what, 24 years?
Yeah, 24 years, yeah.
No, yeah.
And now the story has been spread all over the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And other people have also been there and seen for themselves.
Yeah, since then, a lot of people have got to go. Some people snuck in after we did and got a lot of pictures back out.
Yeah.
They must have been better at sneaking than we were.
Yeah, some are working also in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, that's
true.
true.
Go up there and confirm the story.
Yeah, Vivica.
Yeah, and this Caldwell people, they were there for 12 years, and they sent picture to your father afterwards. Yeah, so
and finally they did even scuba dive on that side and have found chariot wheels on that side also.
Yes.
And there used to be a column that Solomon put there to mark the crossing site on the Saudi Arabian side and on the Israeli side. And so Solomon knew where Mount Sinai was years and years ago. why we lost that knowledge, I don't know.